Welcome, fans, to episode 99 of Rangers Ed. This is your host, Cousin Ed. I'm here with my co-host, Little Ed. What's up, buddy?
How we doing, fellas? Welcome
We
back
got
to the show.
we got our producer, Mikey, with his white wall, but this time with pictures up there. What's up, Mikey?
What's going on, boys? Excited for this episode. It's a big milestone.
And we got the man, the myth, the legend, Coach Ed, who
What does that mean?
it's doing work. Doing work. We got a new sponsor. You want to introduce the new
Yes.
sponsor?
Yes, the boys over at Bella Marble on Lawson Boulevard in Oceanside. I've been doing business with them for about 6 or 7 years. They do custom granite and marble countertops, kitchen tops, vanity tops. Giuseppe over there is a big Ranger fan. He was excited to listen to the episode. He heard the live episode. He liked the little free ad we gave him. So I was over there the other day and we got the sponsor. So looking
And you
forward
said they
to
come over and measure it out for you and everything, right? I think that's the hardest part. So I think that's a big service that they do.
Yeah, you go to the store, you pick out the stone. They have 2 locations to pick out a stone. And they come over and they template the job and they measure it, cut out for the sink, install the sink, and set the stone. Soup to nuts. It's pretty foolproof. They're very thorough, very scheduled. Everything's good working with them.
Do they? I've been watching HGTV and stuff and whatever, and I hear porcelain is the new thing. Do they just do marble and granite, or do they have it all?
I've never heard of a porcelain countertop. I don't know if they have that or not.
Porcelain? I feel like that would break really easy.
I feel like that's pretty fragile.
Yeah, catch up on the HGTV.
I got.
I'd be surprised
quartz.
if it's I'd be. Quartz is the popular stone now.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
got
man-made.
quartz.
It's a man-made stone. It's dense. It's compressed. Consistent.
Yeah, I mean, we just redid our kitchen, and the marble process was such a nightmare. So I think having someone that you could trust and that is going to come to your home and do all that is just it's awesome for homeowners. Doing a kitchen. The whole I had to measure where I wanted it. Obviously they cut the sink in and stuff, but I had to figure that out, how big I wanted the sink. I thought it was just a nightmare. So just having someone you can trust doing that is awesome. They're located at 3459 Lawson Boulevard in Oceanside on Long Island. So yeah, welcome Bella Italia to the Rangers Ed family. And you'll be sponsoring a segment next week. We'll get you on board and really excited. So any of you guys that are doing home renovations, make sure you check out Bella Italia for your granite, marble, quartz, all that. Check them out. All right, boys. So this is a really special episode, I think, for all of us. I think we've been waiting for episode 99 for a long time. Obviously, jersey numbers is going to be fun here. So let's jump right into that. Sponsored by Oscar's Pro Stitch Hockey.
Our buddy Oscar, a huge Rangers fan himself, started his company by stitching his own blue shirts. Once he perfected his craft and started to fall in love with his work, the man started to grow. Oscar stitches every jersey with love and dedication to authenticity, which never disappoints. His talent is hard to find in any store out there. Are you like Cousin Ed? You have a lingering jersey curse that every player he gets a jersey of gets traded or injured and hurts the Rangers team? You want to change things up? You want to take an Eric Lindros jersey and make it a vintage Ken Hodge jersey in the late 70s? Got an old jersey collecting dust in your closet? Want to throw your name on the back and add a nice number of one of your favorite players? You can bring it back to life with a brand new kit at Oscar's Pro Stitch. So head on over to Oscar's Instagram at Oscar's PSH. That's OSCARS PSH to check out the countless tarps he's already done and to place the order for his next one that possibly can post on Instagram and get ready to wear it to the next Ranger game or any event that you have coming up. Tell them the boys from Rangers Ed sent you and receive a special discount at Oscar's Pro Stitch Hockey. Go get them, Rangers.
There he is, boys. Number 99. Wayne Gretzky. Love this. This is one of my favorite pieces of memorabilia right here.
Of course, in the
Unopened.
package.
In the package, brand new, McFarlane. Love it.
What is that? His retirement night?
Yeah, that's him waving to the fans on in his last game.
I got the same one, except I opened mine, so you can actually see what it looks like. And the glove actually comes off, so he's actually holding his other glove.
So I have some open, but if you look on the top shelf back there where my finger's pointing, all those are McFarlane figures I haven't opened yet. So I haven't figured out where I'm going to put them or anything, so I just don't want them open and loose. So you have a nice place for yours. It's different. But I also wanted to share this interesting little piece of memorabilia here. Mini jersey of Gretzky with Arizona Coyotes, even though he never played for the Phoenix Coyotes. He coached them, and I guess they made that figure.
What's wrong with the shelf that the unopened boxes are sitting on as far as a nice place to put them?
There's too many. There's too many. It goes from the front all the way to the back. You see how my wall's like angled? It's a closet. It's like deep. So it's like full of McFarlane figures.
So this is kind of a tease, so maybe a future segment, Memorabilia Corner. Shout out to my buddy Mike up in Connecticut, the card collector.
Yeah,
so I think we should introduce that maybe in the off season when we need to fill some space.
Well, we definitely have enough behind me and in Coach's room and in your room
behind me
to do 500 episodes of just memorabilia. Coach, what do you got there behind you? I saw you set up a little thing for Gretzky there.
I have the jersey Eddie got when he was probably 8 or 9 years old. That's the Liberty jersey. I got the it's not a McFarlane figure. It's a starting lineup Wayne Gretzky New York Rangers figure in the box.
Love that.
Unopened.
That's awesome.
I have a bunch more on the shelf of the Oilers one opened. We got so much stuff. And then I have here
the sneakers. Yeah, that's my favorite.
The Wayne Gretzky sneakers that Eddie got. They're like for
Put it closer.
Hockey.
Put it closer.
They're like for deck hockey.
Yeah, you guys, if you're listening to audio, it's worth going over to YouTube just to check those out. They look like an ice hockey boot, a skate boot. And it's got 99 on it with the hockey skate laces. Oh, man, those things are sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's like the hockey version of an Air Jordan, right?
Didn't you get me two pairs, one I wore and one we kept?
I don't remember that. I remember it was hard to find. It looks like they're by LA Gear. I guess this is when he was traded to Los Angeles. LA Gear used to be a popular exercise shoe in the 90s. I don't know if it's still around.
Yeah, what size are those?
Too, when we were kids.
These are like I don't know, like a kid size, probably 8.
Oh, they won't fit me.
And then I got the little headliner figure that we were talking about.
And Coach Ed can demonstrate with his headliners.
Skating around.
Yeah.
You got to do a Coach's Corner with the headliner figures as the.
I actually found them. This one's on This one's on the shelf, but we have a whole bin I found of all different ones. So we'll get that out for a future episode.
So while Coach was showing those, I just unboxed a new piece I ordered.
He unboxed it.
The Foco Gretzky Big Head bobble.
Knock down the value by unboxing it.
Could always rebox it. They won't know.
You're on camera unboxing it.
Yeah, but it's not linked to my eBay account.
Mike, edit that out.
But anyway, Gretzky, the only Ranger to wear 99, obviously, and the greatest player of all time. So it's just a joy to have had him as a Ranger. I mean, I don't know. For me, it was a big deal. He was always my favorite player. And then when they got him, I was 10 or 11 years old. So I got to actually watch him. He wasn't the same as when he was younger, but still cool to have that memory and to have that, have him as a Ranger at some point in his career and get memorabilia with a jersey and stuff. So pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that was like an early on or for me at least, one of our first experiences of like a free agent or a big name wanting to go to New York and finish their career out in New York. So, well, you non-Ranger fans listening out there, that's just something a little sour for you to think about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a long list of players that have wanted to be a Ranger, but Gretzky joining Messier, that Sports Illustrated cover, the posters and stuff, like that brings back a lot of memories to my childhood and yours. So it's pretty awesome. And all right. So anything else on Gretz before we move on?
I also have the group of 4 Funko Pops of him wearing each jersey behind me. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah,
you opened those too. Mine's unopened.
I have a box unopened also.
That's the way to do it, though.
And there's the Rangers one I'll bring out at least.
So Coach actually for my birthday. Sorry, I'm trying to plug in a phone charger. It's good podcasting. So Coach actually for my birthday got me a Gretzky figure. So I was super excited, and I came home and I went to put it on the shelf, and it turns out I actually had it. I didn't even know. So I was like, oh, I have this already. But then I was like, I can open one now that I have the other one in box. So there you go. So now I can actually enjoy it. Funny stuff, but all right.
Between all 3 of us, I barely know what I buy you guys, Eddie or you. So I just see it in the store. I'm like, oh, this is nice. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. Believe me, I don't even know what I have. You'd think that when you gave it to me, I don't even know. I
don't even know if we have that one.
Well, if you don't, I got 2. So.
Got an extra. So there's a lot of people either punching their steering wheels or that I opened them or that you kept them in the box. Someone's upset out there. So head on over to YouTube to check out all of our
but
toys.
don't act like you're like that. I mean, you have all the Funko Pop boxes. You have them still, right? Tell me you got rid of those Funko boxes.
Depends on who they are.
Okay. I mean,
but no, I'm saying like there's fans out there that are like mad that you're not opening them, or there's a fan out there that's mad that I did. You know what I mean?
I got you. I understand. Yeah. I misunderstood you. All right.
I didn't really say it very well.
No, it's okay. I understand what you mean. All right, so let's jump into it. We got 2 games to cover. The Rangers are currently playing at home against Columbus right now. We're not going to talk about the game because Coach is on delay. So we will not cover that game today. Rangers went 2-0-0 in the 2 games. They beat Carolina on the road and they beat Florida on the road. So pretty good. 2 wins against 2 good teams in the Southeast. And boys, we're sitting in a pretty good spot here. 43, 20, and 10, 96 points, 3rd in the Metro, 6th in the league, and only 4 points behind New Jersey after New Jersey's loss last night, which puts the Rangers on track to play New Jersey on Thursday with a chance to pass them in the standings, which does matter because it would determine home ice advantage in the playoffs if the Rangers can do that. I mean, it's a huge game, right? It's going to really determine who's got home ice advantage most likely. If the Rangers beat Columbus tonight, they'll be at 98 points. And if they beat New Jersey on Thursday, they will tie them and have the tiebreaker. So they'll control their own destiny in the remaining 6 games of the season for the home ice advantage.
Let me just say this. I'm watching the Islanders Devils game last night because I knew it had some significance for both teams. Obviously, we wanted the Devils to lose so we could catch them. I just could not root for the Islanders.
It's so hard.
I was trying to root for them so they could beat the Devils, and I'm watching the game, and I'm like hoping the Devils score as I'm watching the play develop.
Yeah.
And it was just it was like this mind thing in your head. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, so it's an interesting question with the Rangers, Islanders, and Devils likely all to be in the playoffs. Rangers and Devils already clinched. We're looking at the 3 Metro teams going to battle in the first 2 rounds, possibly, right? The Islanders could end up playing Carolina. They could end up playing New Jersey in the first round. And obviously the Rangers will play New Jersey or Carolina in the first round. So it's going to be the first 2 rounds could be Rangers Devils, Rangers Islanders, or it could be Rangers Hurricanes and then either Rangers Islanders or Rangers Devils. It's very possible. So it's pretty stressful. I'm not going to lie. It's almost like everyone says like, oh, you want all the teams to be good. It's exciting. And I don't know if it is. I mean, Ed, do you think
set.
it's exciting? Like I like when the Devils and Islanders suck. I don't really want them.
I was pretty happy the last couple of years when they were at the bottom.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Exactly. Especially the Devils, and now just all the chatter this year of them getting hot at the right time. And I don't know. I'm not worried about the home ice advantage. I think Thursday's a very important game just for some bragging rights going into the playoffs, and just get the fans going, get the city going, get the players going, kind of like a pre-game to the big matchup, which is the playoffs. And the home ice advantage doesn't mean shit because the Ranger fans, it's going to be over 50% in Newark anyway. So it's pretty much a home game for the Rangers in both sites to me. So I don't think that really matters much. And yeah, I mean,
it could matter.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't think it matters in terms of like the players. I think they're comfortable playing in both locations. I think the Rangers play very well in Newark. And like I said, the home ice for the Rangers fans, it's not going to mean anything because they're going to flood that place anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. But I think if you look at last year's playoffs, there was a lot of times where, it was obvious that wasn't obvious, but it was where the home teams were winning every game, right? I think
I'm not saying in general.
Carolina do that all the way through until the second round.
Until the Rangers beat them, yeah.
In Game 7, right? I think Carolina. So it's possible it could matter. But, let's just start there. Obviously, we started talking about it. So, Coach, I got a question for you. If your Rangers are going to play the Devils, do you almost want the Devils to start at home? I saw this proposed in a few articles today. Is it better if the Devils are at home because they're young, their first season back in the playoffs, they're going to be under a lot of pressure in front of their home crowd, versus if they get to start on the road, maybe they won't feel as much pressure? Or would you rather just have home ice advantage and not even consider that?
I mean, I kind of agree with Eddie. I don't think it's going to matter much. They're going to be so pumped up, all the players, and it's right there across the river. The traveling thing isn't an issue, obviously. I think the only advantage is going to be that line change situation. No change.
Yeah.
I don't know if the fans are familiar with that. When you have home ice, if we're the Rangers and we're home, we throw our line out for a face-off. The other team puts their line out, and then the ref puts his arm up to the away team saying, okay, you're done. And then he'll point to the home bench and say, you want to make a change. So you have that split second to match that line on a draw. So that is an advantage, especially I guess in either zone, offense or defensive zone. But
it's a great point.
That's the big advantage.
Yeah,
I'm not really worried about that for the Rangers anyway. I think the Rangers have the matchups against New Jersey. We spoke about that in the last episode. I think the Rangers definitely have the advantage. They have too many weapons for Jersey to try and match it up.
Yeah, I'm watching that game last night. I don't really watch the Devils that much. We had what's his name on? Who does the Devils with us?
Neil.
I don't see their defense being great. I just think they're so good off the rush. I think, like on these other teams, even with Carolina, if we get the puck behind the goal line, their defense is not, to me, watching them, is not that good. I don't see them moving the puck. It's a matter of getting it in the zone deep and not giving them the chance at their blue line in the neutral zone to make plays off the rush. The same thing we did against Buffalo.
Yeah, I think the Devils they're defensively, I agree with you, but they do have good puck movers. So you're right. That's I think a fair assessment. But as far as defensively, they're a little soft on the back end.
That's what I mean.
So I went to the game Saturday, and obviously in Florida, I try to go every year, but it usually falls on New Year's Eve only, and I miss it. But this year I got to go, and I sat really close. I was lucky enough where, my boss got me tickets to the game. It was right behind the net. And a friend of mine, also, I was 11 rows back from right behind the net where the Rangers shot twice. And a friend of mine also had extra tickets, which he gave me his tickets first. And I was like, yeah, definitely. And they were 4 rows back, but on the end where the Rangers shot once. And it wasn't right behind the net. It was to the side. So I got to actually sit in both seats because I brought a couple friends and I made them switch in the second period so I could sit at the end where the Rangers were shooting. So I ended up getting lucky. He surprised me. Both people, offered it to me and surprised me, and it just worked out that way. So I got a really close view of the Rangers defense. And, we talk about this a lot about size on the back end. It's a big topic. There's a lot of fans, and me included, who think it's slightly overrated and whatnot, talk about like Zach Jones or whatever. Let me tell you, Ben Harper is huge. He's a monster. You cannot really see it on TV in the same, like in person. He's like a tree. He's like literally like a trunk of a tree.
He's enormous. Yeah.
He's huge, and like he just pushes people around. Like you really can see the value of certain players when you sit that close. I don't often sit close like that. So yeah, Keandre, Trouba, and Harper, they're huge. They're they're mobile enough, and it's a big advantage. I don't really see that on New Jersey. And in the playoffs, I think that's going to give us an edge. So maybe there is something to the, all the fans out there like me look at analytics and you look at stats, whatever. There's probably a reason that they want Harper in the lineup. He's big.
I think he's been playing well. I mean, I know you're not a big fan of his, but I think he's been playing real well.
I've said all along I agree with that. I don't think he's playing poorly. Eddie will attest to it. We text about him once in a while. I have no issues with Harper's play. I think he's been effective. I just think he could be upgraded. That's all. He's not like a staple on the team. Like,
no, if they lose him in the offseason, you're not going to be like, oh shit, we lost Harper.
Right. He's doing his job well, though. I'm pretty happy with his play. I agree with you. I think he is.
The only guy that the Devils have with that kind of size is Dougie.
But he's soft.
A big kid. I know, but he's a big person. You see him like skating next to other players. He's like big.
Yeah, he's big, but he's soft.
He's lanky though. Yeah, he's lanky and soft.
No, I don't think he's much at all.
Not worried about him at all.
Obviously, they got some offensive skill, but like I said, if they can get behind their defense in every zone, if they could chip it out past them, it's just like playing Carolina. They were aggressive on their offense with the defensemen. If they could get it past them and get odd man rushes, that's the way they're going to beat them.
Yeah, Carolina. So let's talk about the Carolina game. Go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, not even odd man rushes, just forechecking. And you just said it yourself, like all their defensemen are soft. I mean, you got to kind of beat the Devils at their own game and just get on them quick. And their weakness is defense, not just not like their defensive pairings, just defensive structure as a whole. I think a high flying offense like the Rangers have, plus their defensemen anchoring the blue line, it's going to be very hard for the Devils to do much.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to rattle Jack Hughes.
Yeah, if the Rangers play their game, I don't really foresee it being a problem. And Jack Hughes better get off the tracks because, oh man, if Trouba lays out Hughes, that would just make everything worth it.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, I think he's got a ticket to the choo-choo train.
I don't know. He's a tough one to catch.
Yeah, he's hard to get.
You know who else is hard to get? Nathan McKinnon. And Trouba took care of him.
Yeah, it's true. And so is Crosby.
And he's a lot bigger.
And Crosby. We'll see. Hughes better be aware when Trouba's out there. Trouba, I'm sure, would love.
Oh, he will be.
But let's talk about the Carolina game. So the Hurricanes play a pretty consistent style. Forechecking, shoot from everywhere. Very, very low danger chances, but just a lot of quantity as far as shots are concerned. The Rangers lose the game at home, pretty much ended their division chances, but then come back and win on the road thanks to Igor, who played phenomenally, Fox, Panarin, and Zibanejad. So the big guys show up against Carolina. This is probably going to be, if we get past New Jersey, or if New Jersey doesn't win the division, I think this is probably going to be a team we're going to have to get through. I mean, I think everybody would take Carolina over the Islanders. Not that that's guaranteed. The Islanders are going to be a tough out. But, I think you're looking at, again, playing Carolina round 2 if we even get past New Jersey. So it's just a little preview of what we're going to see. So, Coach, how do you counter a team that defends well against the stretch pass, which the Rangers rely on quite a bit, and just forechecks you to death pretty much with quantity of shots? Like what would be your game plan against a team with that kind of a style.
Well, first of all, watching that Carolina game, I was like amazed about how they play this man-on-man in every zone. It was just insane. Every time a Ranger touched the puck in any zone, there was a guy on him. I don't even know how you teach that. I think it was kind of maybe that secret that Brindamore was alluding to when he did that interview when he came to the Hurricanes the first time, saying he had an unorthodox system he wanted to bring in. It's got to be what he's talking about because it's amazing. I mean, but obviously they're beatable. They're on a stretch where they're now, they've won a lot in the last 10 or 12 games, but they've been losing a few games that they should be winning. I think they got shut out one game. So they're definitely beatable. And I think it's, I go back to Tom Rennie. He used to have a saying that Papa used to always echo when I was teaching the kids, chip and support. You just got to chip it ahead of that guy, and be relentless on the support of the puck when you chip it. And, you have to make them chase the puck and look back and see what they're going to do. It's a matter of just puck management like we've talked about many times. And they're going to have to get it past their D and get in their zone and be relentless. We have the skating ability as good as any other team also.
Yeah, but we play a different style.
You got to force them.
I know you're going to have to. You're going to have to adapt to that team. We do have a different style, but you have to be able to adapt in the playoffs to a situation.
Well, I think that's the beauty of the 7-game series. We touched on it last episode, and I said, if I made a joke, like if I was a betting man, I would bet on the Rangers to come back and beat Carolina in, say, game 2 of that series. They were able to figure it out, and they came out. I mean, it was still a tight game, but they kind of beat them at their own game. I mean, the Rangers went up 2-1, and they were able to shut it down, and they were all over Carolina, in my opinion, too. I mean, they played a great game. They did what they had to do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure.
So, I mean, like I said, in a 7-game series, I trust them to be able to figure it out. I mean, they're not going to sweep every series, obviously, but I think they have the ability, they have the leadership, and they have the experience, obviously, bringing in Kane, Tarasenko, all those guys with all the Stanley Cup experience, Barclay Goodrow, obviously. They just have the experience and what it takes to win and bounce back after losing in the playoffs, which is important.
I think so, and they're also a little bit in Carolina's head from last year, so we'll see. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves anyway. We're likely to play New Jersey, and that's a tough out. We're gonna have to beat them, and it's gonna be a battle. But so in the Hurricanes game, you got Panarin with a goal and assist, Zibanejad 2 assists, Igor #1 star, and Adam Fox breaks a goal drought that he should never have. When's the last time he scored? They said like December 1st or something, a long time. And then you get the Panthers game where those guys are pretty quiet. Panarin somehow, and this is how I know these box scores are nonsense. So Uncle Rob will be proud that I'm admitting this. Panarin is credited with 0 giveaways in that Panthers game. And we know for sure that he had at least 2 giveaways.
Yeah, I don't understand the stat.
I don't know.
What's considered a giveaway? It's ridiculous.
I don't know. I mean, to me, I guess I'm
even
not
hits.
defining
Even
it
hits. Sometimes you look at hits in the stats, and like he only had 3 hits.
Well, it's a subjective.
Like 3 hits in the first period.
It's a subjective stat, right? So each game has a scorer, an official scorer, and they determine. It's like, how do you determine if something's a hit or an error? Like somebody's there and they determine it and they make the call. So somebody's there tracking it. And I'll tell you, when I was in college, I was in the sport management program, and I actually did this for SUNY Cortland's hockey team as part of I had to work a certain amount of hours at the games. So I chose hockey, obviously, and I'd work the games. And I'd sit there in the booth in between the penalty boxes, and they were like, all right, you have to track shots on goal.
Between the penalty boxes,
not between the bench. So I have to track shots on goal, and I'd have to update it on the scoreboard and like track it for the game stats and track hits and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, or was that a shot on goal? I mean, it looked like it hit the post. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's college, so it's different, but that's what someone's doing there. So I don't know. I guess they're tracking if something's a giveaway and they're making a subjective call. Like, was that a giveaway? But either way, those guys were quiet. Halak gets the start, so Igor's not quiet. But the kid line comes through. Each member of the kid line had a goal and assist in the game. Hedl probably should have 5 goals in that game. No, Hito was the number one star of the game. Just saying. But anyway, Kako.
That's a subjective stat, also.
Kako, Lafreniere, and Heedle all scored. I love when that happens. I sent you guys the Quagmire picture. And I got an up close view of the Kako goal and all of the goals, actually. And it was just a really fun experience. So it just goes to show you this is how the Rangers were successful last year in the playoffs, right? So you have guys like Zibanejad, Panarin. They get big goals. They have big games. But then other games, they get shut down, and the kid line steps up and really emerges in that game. And it really helped the Rangers balance out, their play throughout the playoffs. So if this is them gearing up and getting ready for the playoffs, good sign. Hopefully it continues. I mean, Coach, you remember in the playoffs, the kid line was a huge topic of conversation. NHL Network was obsessed with them, right? It was just endless. They've been pretty quiet over the last month or so, but this is a big game for them.
Well, I think it's what we reviewed last week, saying that if a team is going to try to shut down the line with Panarin and the line with Kane and Tarasenko, that means the kid line is going to be playing against lines that they should be not dominating but doing well against. So it's going to be hard to match three lines. Yep. And if we get anything out of the fourth line, that's even a bigger bonus. That's why I was watching that Hurricanes game, and I'm like, our fourth line's got to beat their fourth line. This is ridiculous. They were getting banged around a little bit. It wasn't in the first half of the game. It was a little frustrating, but I think they weathered the storm. But like I just said, the kid line should be getting opportunities because the other team has to worry about our top two, not our top one.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna say it over and over again. I feel like in the coming weeks, and obviously all the episodes we cover for the playoffs, is those line matchups is a very underrated thing. Face-offs, everything is very underrated in the playoffs. And I just said it, and you just said it. Those matchups, if the other teams are trying to shut down Kane, Zibanejad, Tarasenko, and if they're able to do that, which I think they're gonna have a very difficult time doing, obviously. You still have the kids line to worry about, and then you also have Goudreau, Mott, and VC on the fourth line that are able to put a few in here and there, So
yeah, they're a really good fourth line. They're playing really well. I agree.
Yeah, the depth in the Rangers, we could go on and talk about them as well. I mean, but yeah, the kids line's definitely getting hot. It gets a little scary when they disappear or when they're not really playing well. I think they really just got to focus on, even if they're not playing well or they're not putting pucks in the net, especially in the playoffs, because you got to think that these games are going to be 2-1, 3-1, very close games. They got to kind of kill the clock and do their job by cycling and keeping the forecheck and, like we just talked about, getting pucks behind their D and just getting shots on net and getting face-offs to bring out the next line, especially if they're at home, to be able to match up the next line with that offensive zone face-off.
Yeah,
I mean that kid line is sneakily becoming Laffy's got what, 15 goals in this season that we've been bitching about him the whole time. I mean, I think I predicted like 30 this year, but I mean 15 goals is nothing to sneeze at. Well,
obviously, just look at the whole line, right? So Heedle 41 points, 21 goals per 82 games. That's a 52-point pace as a third line center with no power play time, right? You look at Kako, 36 points. He's on per 82 games. That's a 40-point pace. Pretty good. It's an improvement. It's not great, but it's an improvement. And then Laffy, again, third line players, very little power play time most of the year, up to 15 goals and 34 points, 39-point pace. So, I mean, all three guys could hit 40 points easily this year. I mean, they all could. Heedle's already there. So the other two need 4 points and 6 points to reach 40. As third line players with very little power play time, that's impressive. I think it is, at least.
Yeah, I mean, this like I said, we've been I don't want to say complaining, but we don't think that Laffy and Kako are playing up to the level as number 1 and number 2 picks.
Right.
But 15 goals is nothing to sneeze at, with the bad slumps they've had.
Well, I think we do that because, and fans, it's natural to do this. You look at Jack Hughes and Tim Stützle and these guys, and they have 85 points. They're number 1 centers and on the power play 1. They're playing way more special teams time. You look at any player in the league who has a lot of points. Look at Zibanejad. Zibanejad has 79 points. 31 of those are on the power play. That without those power play points, he has 48 points. All right. Look at Panarin. He's got 30 power play points, so he'd have 52 points if he got no power play time.
Right, so they're right there.
Yeah, so Hedl and Kakko and Laffy combined have 11 power play points combined between the three.
Can we talk about the Rangers? Can we talk about their power play or?
Yeah, I think you should.
It's horrible.
I don't know how it can be so
What's
bad.
going on? Coach came over to watch the Carolina game with me, and we're sitting there like, how does this power play not score? Like it wasn't a 5-on-3 that game, but it was just like back-to-back 5-on-4s or whatever. It's like, how are they not scoring here?
Yeah.
I mean, not scoring, like no chances.
Yeah.
Very few good chances.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is. I think it's just finding the right personnel, and
I think Tarasenko's got to get more power play time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's one of the top shooters on the team. I mean, you look at
having Kane and Panarin on the same power play unit to me is a waste. I don't care what magic they had in the past. I don't see it. I hope it comes around, but I don't personally see it. They're both pass first guys.
We said it when they first did it. Why are they putting all the pass first players on one power play and all the shoot first players on the other power play? It doesn't make any sense.
Messier said it that one game, and then Kane scored, but it wasn't a real shot. He just turned and fired it at the net. It wasn't wow, that was a great play.
I don't think he was shooting to score there. I think he was shooting for a deflection or rebound.
Just think about this, right? So if you have your first power play unit or whatever, a power play unit has Patrick Kane on one side and Mika Zibanejad on the other. You just have Kane feeding Zibanejad one-timers. Then the other team's got to key in on that left side of the ice, offensively, their right side, right, on Zibanejad. And then mid-power play, you switch, you change, and Panarin comes out with Tarasenko. Now they have to key in on the right side of the power play.
That's what I would do.
They might have the wrong personnel out. They might get crisscrossed. Creates drama.
Yeah.
To me, it's a no-brainer. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's common sense that those four guys, you split Panarin and Kane, and you split Tarasenko and Zibby, and you make those the passers and shooters. Just play Fox the full 2 minutes, get them off the PK, and then just merge other guys in. Laffy, Kakko, Hedl, whatever. Just keep flowing them in. Trocheck. Whatever. Just let them be the fifth guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Fox
can get Hedl off the power play.
If Tarasenko's in, Hedl's out. Then you got to have Kreider and Trocheck as the other bumpers.
Right, and Kreider too. I forgot Kreider. Of course,
yeah,
how did I forget that?
Tarasenko's in, Hedl's out without a doubt, and I have no problem with Fox playing the full 2 minutes. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, just play him the full 2 minutes and get him off the PK.
You put Trouba out there with Fox. You put Keandre out there with Fox. You got multiple guys. You don't need to have Panarin on the point when you have guys that can handle the puck on the back end. I'm sorry.
But you need him on the half wall to make passes. Right?
I get that. You don't need it to have him on the point and then have Kane and Zibanejad, and then you have, like we said, Panarin looking to dish, back and forth with Kane. They're going back and forth, and nothing's happening.
Right, for 20 minutes. Panarin to Kane, to Panarin, to Kane, to Panarin, to Kane. Oh, then you hear the fans behind you at the game being like, shoot it! And you're like, for once.
You can make a Family Guy skit. You make a Family Guy skit of just like a view of me and Coach Ed sitting on the couch, and you just hear that on the TV. Panarin to Kane, to Panarin. And me and him were just on the couch like, what the?
Yeah, you really could.
Tennessee Meg, get on the cartoon.
Oh my God, cartoons are so funny. She's doing a great job of that. We gotta push those on somewhere. They're really good. Her Sam and Joe drawings are just on point, man. Like
I sent the Sam and Joe drawing to Uncle Rob. He was freaking hysterical.
The Sam drawings just cracks me up so much, man. She does a really good job. But all right, so only 2 games to cover. I think we hit the key points, so hopefully they can pull off tonight, win, and head into the Devils game on Thursday and overtake them for home ice. I would love that more than anything. But let's move on. Let's go into a coach's corner with Coach Ed. So, Coach, we talked about the Panarin giveaways on the Lomberg goal against Florida. Credited with 0 giveaways in that game. You watched the play. You looked it over. Did he have 2 giveaways in that play, or am I crazy?
Oh my God! I don't understand it. I mean, to me, what happens there is we talked about that man-on-man coverage and the trust in your teammates and what's got to happen. And you were asking me behind the scenes, do you think Harper made the wrong decision when Schneider made one choice? They're making choices based on what they're thinking Panarin's going to do. And if he doesn't do it, if he flips the puck and it's intercepted, now they're in no man's land. So now they got to make a second decision. And you got, I forget who the other wing was. Was it Kane or Tarasenko was outside the zone near the red line, hoping to get that weak backhand pass. So what happened on that play was, I'll bring the board out. We had Panarin over here on the half wall with the puck. And the right wing was over the blue line. You had Harper here, and you had Schneider here, and the center was coming down, looping here, and the weak flip was over here. It was intercepted by Stahl here, so we had one man out of the zone. Now it's intercepted, and Stahl goes down, leaves it for what's his name again? Lomberg. Yeah, so Stahl goes to the front of the net. Now Harper's got to make a decision to go with Stahl or go to him. Lomberg was this man, the right wing's job here. So either he's got to leave him and go to Stahl because Schneider was over here with the Panthers right wing. So Harper went out to kind of block that shot and make an attempt. Schneider covered the man here from getting a deflection. So Halak had to worry about Stahl over here, and he kind of left that weak side open a little bit, and the puck went in. It wasn't a great shot. I mean, Harper had to make that decision, but because this guy was waiting for that flip pass from Panarin, instead of Panarin just chipping it off the wall, getting into the neutral zone, like we talked about, not giving them a rush at the blue lines, and then this player could have came over and got it. He chose to make that weak pass. Stahl read it, like most teams are doing, and it created that scoring chance in the goal to their fourth line. That was against their fourth line.
Yeah.
Those are the things that cannot happen. You're making a fourth line player being a hero in that first period, getting all excited and pumped, which was ridiculous. Then you're making your defense have to make decisions that shouldn't have to be made on a breakout pass that he got from, I think Schneider sent it up the wall to him. He's one of your best puck handlers on the team. Has possession and makes the wrong decision.
Yeah, and I think that Schneider is probably just like, his job is to get the puck to Panarin. That's literally his job, right? So then he gets it to him, and now he's in a position where maybe he puts his shoulders down a second. He gave it to Panarin. His job is done, and then, no, it's not, because now it's a giveaway. And like you said, he's got to make these quick decisions. At being at the game and seeing that play, I was on the opposite end of the ice, but I turned to my wife and I said, that's all Panarin's fault. I could tell from the far end of the ice that was his fault twice, on two giveaways on that play. It's just really, I think it's a good demonstration of the complaining that sometimes we do about Panarin, and a lot of people may be like, why are you complaining about our best player or whatever? And this is a perfect example. This is just bad decision-making. He cannot do that in the playoffs. I agree. I mean, we're lucky to come back in the game,
Maybe they don't call it a giveaway because Stahl kind of made a decision to jump that pass. Maybe it's not like a blatant giveaway. Maybe that's the mindset of whoever's keeping track of that stat. But to me, it's not a percentage play. It's not a playoff play. You don't see Carolina doing those cross ice. You need to play the percentages. Puck possession, especially in the neutral zone or at our blue line. Out of the zone first, neutral zone, in their zone. You got to keep it basic.
All right, Coach.
Any questions, Mike, already?
I'm loving
you guys have to add?
I love the dry erase board.
I got a nice visual learning experience tonight.
I'd like to get a better system going, but I don't know. When I have time and space, we'll figure
we got to do it. We got to do it digitally. We just turn the whole screen into the rink and let him draw on it digitally.
I think that would be cool as hell. Eventually, I'd love to do that.
But get a touch screen like an iPad or something, and do it on there. I don't know. Maybe
I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's possible.
Like Valley has.
Yeah. It says, Mike, that's your homework for next week. Figure that out.
But it was like. I mean, stuff like that basically is very frustrating to watch a world-class player to make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Happens to the best of us, except for the wet bandits.
It does, but it's a good example of what Panera needs to tighten up, I think, for playoff time. But all right. So we got 2 games to cover for broadcast banter. So let's move on into our broadcast banter.
It's a power play goal.
There had to have been banter related to the Stahl brothers during the Panthers game. Somebody tell me that there was some Mark Stahl, Eric Stahl banter with Sam and Joe. Somebody tell me.
I don't remember talking about the family. Did you guys?
No, not really. I would have noticed that. They didn't really say much at all.
Maybe they were trying.
Yeah. I had a good one, though, Florida related. He goes, Joe goes, Sam, the Rangers just needed a period to skate a little bit. They hadn't skated since Thursday, and it looked that way. Now it looks the opposite. Sam goes, maybe they just need to get the suntan lotion off, Joe. Maybe work it out a little bit. And Joe goes, them or us? Oh, my God.
Can I ask you guys a stupid question before we get into the banter? Why wouldn't they have like a little skate that... No, before we move on, I'm saying, why wouldn't they have like an open skate that day and just shoot the puck around and do something? Are you that tired from traveling?
They made it like they didn't have access to it. They didn't come out and say that, but they said like
they did. No, they did. They said Lindgren skated with another guy. I don't know if it was Halak or somebody, but Lindgren skated. He said Lindgren and one of the guys skated.
Gallant is big on giving rest when there's travel. He always says it in a lot of his interviews. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, we're not going to practice tomorrow," So he's big on that. He's not like we need to practice every day kind of coach.
All right.
The interview that I heard made it sound like he was like, "Yeah, we just didn't have the opportunity to skate the last 2 days or whatever."
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Maybe the travel schedule didn't allow it. So maybe the flights or the buses or whatever they had.
There's also weird travel rules where they can't fly right after the game anymore and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So
who knows? But that is a really good banter.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Them or us? That's hilarious. But all right. Anything else, or let's move on?
Mike, you got nothing? I don't have anything on the notes.
Yeah, I didn't have the best opportunity to watch both games intently this week, but
after Fox, go ahead. After Fox scored, he goes long goal scoring streak. And I just thought of
drought. Yeah,
long drought. I just thought of Longfellow Deeds, his servant or whatever.
Long,
his friend,
long,
he goes, Longfellow Deeds.
Oh, that's so funny. That's from Mr. Deeds for the fans.
I think Sam
don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think Sam said it. Long goal scoring drought.
Oh man, that's a good one. All right, let's move on to our stars of the week. Boys, this might be our most efficient episode ever. I think we gotta bog it down somehow and get on brand here.
I was just thinking the same thing. Well, we still got the 150 to fill in our time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. All right, offensive player of the week. Let's start with Mikey Produces over there. He's on mute. He's
grabbing his board.
He's struggling tonight. All right, start us off with the offensive player of the week.
Giving it to number 13, Alexis Lafreniere.
Okay, I like that.
He's
I like
just buzzing out there. Love what he's showing up every game. Little spoiler alert, he might have shown up tonight too, but
Thanks for spoiling that.
They better not lose tonight. That's all I gotta say. They better just blow these guys up. But go ahead.
Anyway, all right, Little Ed, offensive player of the week.
Since I put the entire kids line in the doghouse last year, I'm bringing them all out and giving them the offensive players. And I drew a little swing. I drew a little swing set because they made Florida their playground.
Nice.
I love that. Maybe they all went to Ultra. You guys see the music after the game outside the arena? I sent it to you.
That was funny. Crazy.
Unbelievable.
Did you like the music I put on the reel? I thought that was very Miami.
It was. I liked that song too. That was good. You did a great job with that.
Miami-esque.
All right, so Mikey with Laffy. Ed, Little Ed goes with the whole kid line, and right on brand, I went with Heedle. Number one star of the game against Florida. Should have had 4 goals. He hit the crossbar. So anyway, he had a great game and a great goal in that game. Coach Ed, who you got? Oh, the whole kid line. I can't tell that you're even holding anything up. He's just staring at me. Laffy, Heedle, and Kako. So look, they get on the board. Offensive player of the week. I love to see that, but I will say it is only 2 games. So let's see if they could do it again. Keep it up. All right, defensive player of the week. Let's go to Little Ed, our defensive coach of the podcast. Who you got?
I give it to the captain, Trouba, and I drew the captain C.
Oh, that's pretty good, too.
I think his I don't have red markers, only pink. They're all neon colors. So I drew the captain C. I think he's just playing an overall game right now. I think he's playing great defensively. He's contributing offensively also. He's sniping. He's making nice passes. And most importantly, he's still leading the team. And I mean, I'll keep saying it, but that helmet throw and just changing the whole course of the whole season, the whole trajectory of the season, I think he just hasn't turned back since then, and he's really amping up his game heading into playoffs like we talked about.
Yeah, he's playing well. I went off that mark. So last week we stuck with Igor and Halak, and I went back to Igor again. I thought he was incredible in the Carolina game. I know he didn't play the Panther game, but only 2 games, and yeah, went with Igor. Coach Trouba. Ed, do you think you can move your microphone a little more?
I was muted. It didn't mute?
No, it didn't mute. You pulled a Coach Ed.
Oh, my bad. Mike told me if I mute it won't make a noise. So we
call that pulling a Coach Ed, by the way.
I muted you, but then you unmuted yourself.
Coach Ed goes with Trouba. He's refusing. So Coach Ed's new thing is he's refusing to say out loud his pick, and he's forcing me to read the small print on his Stars of the Week board that he's holding about 20 feet away from the camera.
I want to make you work for. I want to make you work for it.
Mikey goes with Schneids.
Given it to Schneider, he had 1 extra hit than Trouba. I wanted to give it to Trouba, but recorded 6 hits, 4 blocks. I love the way he's playing right now.
One thing I noticed about Schneider, Coach, I want your opinion on this, and Mikey too. Only 11 penalty minutes this year for the whole season. It's pretty good.
That's great.
I mean, I know that means he's not fighting, and you want Schneider to be physical and fight, but no stick penalties either, right? That's a good sign.
Well, you wouldn't mind the fighting penalty, but I love the fact that you just said no stick penalties, no hooks, means he's not getting beat a lot. And a lot of times when I'm watching the game, I mean, even Sam Rosen gets confused. He throws the hits like you think it's Trouba a lot, like not as bone crushing, but he's making those plays.
They call him that for a reason, Coach. Baby Trouba.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he definitely resembles the timing in the neutral zone at the blue line. Yeah, I think he does a good job of that. Good pick, Mike, my boy.
Yeah, he's been good. All right, key contributor award. We're gonna start with Coach. I'm gonna have to read the small. I can't see who that is. Tank and
versus Aho.
Aho? Oh, Tank. That's
versus Aho.
Your key contributor is Tank versus Aho?
In that Carolina game, he got under Aho's skin. They were battling all game.
Oh, okay. So Tarasenko is the key contributor.
Tarasenko.
It's just not clear if you're in the right award or what's going on. All right, Mikey. Key contributor. Key contributor.
I added.
Now it goes to Gretzky.
Now the box is damaged on the Gretzky figure.
Oh boy, you guys can't sell these things now. Yeah,
now we gotta open it.
I'm giving it to two people. I'm giving it to the other two members of the kid line. I'm giving it to Kako and Hito. I put a little S for contributors because I think the whole kid line deserves some love these last two games.
Nice.
Good call.
Love that. I went with Laffy. So I know you went.
Ed, you just gave away the whole case that you're working on. What are you doing?
No, that's just class notes. That's
Wait, did he go to the chair? We just found new evidence on that.
Mike, edit that out. No, so I went with Laffy for the reasons that you were saying earlier for offensive player of the week. I gave it to him. So I left Kako off mine. Little Ed, who'd you give?
I went with Harper.
There we go.
I drew the Guinness harp. Yeah, I think obviously Linger coming back was huge for us. Everyone was really excited. He came back a little too soon. Harper had to take a seat for a game. Obviously, that's got to be a little discouraging for a player or for a human being in general. He had to have seen it coming, obviously. But then he was able to just bounce back right in the next game and continue to perform and not really miss a beat at all. So I think that's another important thing, obviously, going to the playoffs, that Mikkola is probably going to have that sixth spot. But if Harper's able to just seamlessly come in and out of the lineup and play with Schneider and play with whoever he needs to play with and perform, then I think that's obviously a big key contribution.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think Harper's been playing well, and we talked him up earlier. So
he had to sit out and come back against Carolina.
Right, exactly.
That's a tough nut.
Yeah.
So highlight play of the week should be unanimous, but it won't be because we have Coach Ed on this podcast. but let's see.
What I picked. Oh, I got it.
Let's go with Little Ed to start us. Let's see.
I went with Foxy Snipe against Carolina, and I drew the fox emoji.
Okay, it won't be unanimous.
Well, because Little Ed probably picked Heedle again.
Cousin Ed.
Little Ed just picked Fox.
Cousin Ed.
Well, you're damn right I did. His goal was a highlight reel goal. Steals the puck, giveaway from Aaron Ekblad, walks in and buries it on a partial breakaway like that. That was beautiful, man. The Rangers fans in the crowd
he didn't steal the puck. The puck bounced over Ekblad's stick. It wasn't a stolen play. It wasn't a puck retrieval play. He went in on his partial breakaway and scored.
It was a beautiful goal, Coach.
Okay.
It was a beautiful
steal the
goal.
Puck. You make like he made this big play.
Well, let's see if he keeps it going. Let's see if you appreciate.
I gave him a little credit on the kids' line.
Maybe he'll get to 25 goals this year, Coach. So my prediction from last year will just be a year early. We'll see. All right, Mikey. What about you?
I'm giving it to Laffy Taffy's backhand.
That should have got it.
Mikey!
You're right. Yeah, that was a highlight reel play.
That was nice.
Live, that was unbelievable.
I forgot
that was
about
a nice
that.
move
Good
he made
call,
too to get there. That was a beautiful play.
Yeah, he put the puck.
Mikey. Good call.
That was unbelievable. I gotta agree. I should have picked that one, but I'm gonna stick with my pick. But still, I'm not gonna change it and flop and give credence to the
highlight flop.
No, but that was.
If you weren't blinded by Heedle's lucky bounce,
I'm too busy trying to troll Coach, and I'm not being objective. All right. So, Coach Ed's Copyright Doghouse Award, sponsored. This award is brought to you by Suiter's Sweet Treats. Make sure you get online to their Etsy store and order some cookies for birthdays, parties, whatever. Suiter's Sweets and more on Etsy, and check them out on social media as well.
Don't forget promo code EDPOD23 for a free Coach Ed's Doghouse cookie. Check those out on my YouTube. And they got a dog.
The other night.
Yeah, and a little bulldog shaped one as well. So you get 10% off with EdPod23, and you also get a free Coach Ed Doghouse cookie thrown in with your order.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And Coach Ed, the 1 week order, every week he gets a Doghouse cookie in the mail. Just on what do they call it? Auto subscribe or whatever.
Yeah. Subscription.
So last week, Coach Ed, you had an empty doghouse. Or is anyone going in this week?
Does anybody have a guess?
No way.
You can't put him in.
The entire power.
Okay.
Yeah.
You all thought he was putting Heedle in, right? Like, come on. He gets the number one star of the game.
I'm not bad. Come on.
I second that. I got the power play also.
Okay, so little Ed, last week you had Lafreniere, Heedle, and Kako in.
Yeah, they're far out.
They are way out. They went all the way to offensive player of the week for you. The whole power play, okay, for you. Yep. Mikey, you had an empty doghouse. Who you got in the doghouse this week?
I'm giving it to our one of our leaders who hasn't shown up these last 2 games. Giving it to the K-Man.
Nice.
No goals, no points. He was being physical these last 2 games. I didn't really see it. So I think he just needs to step up a little bit, especially going into the playoff run right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, so last week I had Kako and Fox in. I'm taking them both out, and I'm going empty this week. I know the power play's been crap, but I don't really put whole units in the doghouse with you guys, so I'm just going to go empty. And yeah,
put the whole NHL in.
Yeah, I did the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Come on.
But the whole league in.
You also put the coaching staff in once, I think. We got to get Joey on. We got to get Joey on this little history.
Yeah, Joey. Well, I got the whole chart right here since episode 77.
I have another stat I want Mikey to look into. Is there a stat of offensive zone time?
Yeah.
Directly related to goals.
What do you mean?
Or scoring chances, because the
offensive zone time before goals, you mean?
No, even just offensive zone time to grade A scoring chances, because the kid line gets a lot of zone time as far as cycling, but it seems like they come out empty-handed a lot compared to their amount of offensive zone time.
I'll tell you what, Coach, this is what I'll do, okay? If you
get Valley on the horn.
If you write the question that specifically what you want to ask, I'll edit it and I'll direct message Valley to see if he can direct me to the stat. Because his
stat.
Yeah, and I'm sure his company has it. So I'll actually send that to Valley and I'll say, hey, we're just curious. Is there a stat that? And you fill it in and I'll edit it. And we'll get that answer from Valley himself. And if he answers, I'll invite him on the pod. We'll see. If
the
he
Rangers
probably
said weekly Valley's view.
Ooh.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Weekly.
Well, I wanted that other stat of drawn penalties that we never got. Rangers top drawing of penalties, but
right.
I'm sure he's got that stat.
Did you see Coach Ed's board that I drew on
I love it. That's funny.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah, the power play on the coach's
looks like
board.
something else to me.
Yeah, smiley face.
Austin Powers.
Anywho, all right. Let's take a break and let Mikey P do his thing with the Rangers Ed 150.
Trivia, it's time to throw it over to Mikey P with your Rangers Ed 150, the fastest 150 seconds in the National Hockey Podcast League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Rangers Ed 150. 2 more teams have clinched playoff berths in the Rangers and the Leafs after Monday night's action. And elsewhere in the league, those races are really getting down to the wire. Out west in the Pacific Division, absolutely no change here. Not much to add from last week. Vegas, LA, and Edmonton are holding on to the 1, 2, and 3 spots with the Kraken in 4th and the Flames in 5th. through each of their last 10. Vegas is 8-2-0. The Kings are 8-0-2, and the Oilers are 8-1-1. Now that we're down to the wire, the top 3 in the Pacific are here to play. In the Central Division, as we predicted, the Wild have taken that number 1 spot. The Avs are in second, and the Stars have moved from first to third in the span of a week. The Wild are 7-1-2 through their last 10, but their schedule has been exceptionally weak of late, so take that into account when you're filling out those playoff brackets. Colorado's also on a tear, putting up 9 wins through their last 10 tries, but much like the Wild, their schedule has been very weak through their last 10, with the exception of 1 quality win against the Leafs. Finally, Winnipeg continues to slide, and they're still barely holding on to that second wildcard spot in the West, sitting 4 points ahead of the Flames with an equal number of games played. Back east in the Atlantic Division, Boston and Toronto have both clinched playoff berths, while Tampa continues to struggle. They're riding a 4-game losing streak, heading into a tough tilt against the Canes Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Good news for Toronto fans out there is the Lightning are finally decrepit enough on the defensive end for the Leafs to maybe make it out of the first round this year, so we'll have to see. After playing themselves into that final wild card spot last week, the Panthers have lost 4 straight, surrendering it back to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pens are 3 points up on them with a game in hand, so things aren't looking good for Florida at the moment. Florida also has an incredibly tough schedule through the duration of the season, so they're really going to have to put on their A game and make it happen as the playoffs approach. Finally, in the Metro Division, the Canes, Devils, and Rangers have all clinched their playoff berths, and we're just waiting to see how the standings shake out so we can start breaking down those first-round matchups. The Canes are missing a consistent goal scorer up front, and scoring by committee is a very difficult way to make it far in the playoffs, especially when you don't have the situation between the pipes shored up. They're still riding that 3-headed monster back there. The Devils are young, a bit experienced, to put it simply, and teams have really figured out how to beat them. They're a very fast team, but if you can slow down the game and control the pace of play, the Devils are not as difficult to play against. On the other hand, the Rangers look like they're really starting to find some balance up front. They got the kid line going, and those big talents they brought in at the trade deadline are really starting to get some synergy, so I would not want to play them. Finally, the Islanders are also playing lights-out hockey of late. Bit scary with Barzal out of the lineup and slated for a potential return at the start of the playoffs, so I would not want to play the Islanders in that first round. Got some great games coming up for the boys in blue this week. First, we got a preview of a potential first-round matchup Thursday night against the Devils, followed by a quick ride to Buffalo for the Sabres on Saturday. And finally, we got the Capitals on Tuesday night. Lots of exciting hockey elsewhere in the league, so stay tuned for more updates next week. This has been your 150.
What's going on this week? Even Mikey kept it crisp.
Yeah, I feel like that was actually 150, so let's give him a little credit there.
Mikey.
Yeah. All right. Good job, Mikey. Can't wait till we get to the playoffs so he can really break down the matchups and see what's going on.
We're going to have him back on for a preview.
Definitely.
Sure. Definitely. All right. Let's move on to the trivia. What do you got for us, Mike?
Got a good one. Got a good episode 99 trivia in honor of the great one.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who scored the only goal for the New York Rangers in Wayne Gretzky's final career appearance? 2-1 overtime loss against the Pittsburgh Penguins, April 18th, 1999.
The only goal.
Wow. I have no idea.
I don't even know who was on the team.
Cousin Ed's got Brian Leach. Little Ed went with Gretzky, and Coach Ed went with Messier.
Messier was gone by. Oh no, maybe not. Yeah, he was gone.
I thought maybe he was back.
Somebody got a point. It wasn't Coach Ed. It wasn't Little Ed.
It was me. Let's go. That's a lucky guess.
Brian Leach.
I had no idea. Gotta make sure I update the standings.
Oh man.
Boys, when I say a crisp episode, a solid hour and 10 minutes, and we got through it all. Very minor editing needed. Very minor. Mike, there is editing needed, but very minor editing. Pretty good.
Only 2 games we needed to cover.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. All right, so we got the Blue Jackets right now. We'll cover that one next week. Then we got the Devils on Thursday. The Rangers have it. Little Ed will yell at me if I say we. And then the Sabres.
No, we're media
Friday.
now. We're allowed to.
Yeah, we. Then the Sabres on Friday, and then Washington, and that ends the road trip back home against Tampa Bay. So it's going to be fun end to the season here. I'm looking forward to seeing where the Rangers finish. We already clinched. Pretty exciting to clinch this early, and we can just enjoy the ride now and see where we finish. On that note, thank you to our fans for listening. Go check us out on YouTube so you can see Coach Ed on the dry erase board. It's really awesome, and you can see all the memorabilia we showed earlier.
Yeah, little preview to Memorabilia Corner. Another shout out to big fan of ours, fan_of_NY Rangers, Mike, my card agent up in Connecticut. But no, he's got an awesome collection. Head over to his Instagram page and check it out. Right now, he's working on getting all of the Hall of Fame Ranger cards, I believe. So cool. He's always just trying to accomplish little like things like that and find new ways to attract viewers to his page. So everyone go check it out. And in the off season, we'll definitely have him on to do a little memorabilia corner and officially launch the segment.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds awesome. Let's definitely do it. And all right, boys, I think that wraps it up.
So.
Till next week.
Next week we got the big 100. So everyone start brainstorming on something special we could do.
Yeah, we still have no idea what we're gonna do for that.
Coach was bragging. He said he's got like a list of ideas.
I got 2 ideas.
And we're gonna have to talk about it.
All right, we'll figure it out. All right, boys. Till next week. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Have a good night.
Later.